Hello everyone, welcome back to Bingothon. We took a little moment to set up, but we're finally here for the NieR Automata run. I hope you all have enjoyed this 2v2 lockout and got two lovely commentators right here to describe everything that you need to know about this. So take it away.
Good evening, good morning, good whatever it is where you are. Welcome to NieR Automata Bingo. I'm Game Commander and I'm here with Riker.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, and we're here to play some 2v2 Lockout Bingo. So the racers are just finishing their final checks for setup, and we're going to get going here in just a moment. But yeah, we've got team Huh and team We've got Icarus and Isum, and playing against Ameiii. You've seen there the Twitch channel RykoFan69 and Damage Glitch. I believe all the runners are ready. Let me just get confirmation from them and we can get things started.
Hopefully it'll be a exciting match to watch, and yeah, it's as we wait for the runners to get in here. Does NieR Automata have a big Bingothon community or presence, or would it just be something that's kind of up and coming?
Yeah, so we here at NieR have been in, I believe, every single Bingothon. At least every regular one. They might have been, maybe we missed one that was like a impromptu, but I don't think so. I think we've been in every one. So um, it looks like we've seen a couple of stream issues. So we'll wait for those to get resolved before we launch the race, and so we can give you some background. So Ameiii is a long time Bingothon veteran, both running NieR, running a Togi, and a little bit of tech assistance. So we hear his music come in. Ameiii also was asleep until like 5 minutes ago, and is the reason that we took so long to set up here. So everyone, be patient. He's a sleepy boy.
Yes, and I just here at Bingothon we love just sleeping on our desks and having a great time. We're all in this big massive room. We don't actually live at the four corners of the globe. No, we're all in a singular room, and we all sleep under the same desk. And it's great. It's a wonderful time. But yeah, so we're still just gonna wait for a few minutes for the runners. But is there anything you'd like to say about the other runners, some of their backgrounds?
Yeah. So Ameii's partnered with Damage Glitch, and Damage Glitch in the grand scheme of NieR, a fairly new runner, but over the past year that they've been playing, has improved extremely rapidly. Has one of the top 10 times on the leaderboard. Not nearly as experienced with bingo, so we've got sort of a up and coming runner who's newer to bingo with a long time overall game and bingo veteran versus Isum and Icarus. Isum, longtime Bingothon veteran. Icarus played in the last 2 in a row. So it'll be interesting. They've got a good amount of bingo built up, especially that 2v2 lockout, which we've been a fan of lately. And with that, I think we're ready to get this show on the road.
Absolutely.
We
So
should
the
get
runners will
started
be
here.
in their own VCs for this. So the commentators will be the main source of commentary. So we will.
Quick little thing.
5012.
The Metroid's bingo board is currently up, just so if anyone's confused why there's already some goals marked. So the runners have revealed their boards. We'll reveal the overall board to you all in a moment. Riker, do you want to go ahead and explain the format that we're playing here today?
Yeah, so today we're playing
All
a
right.
2v2
Are we good?
lockout.
Roger that.
So
All
basically
right.
what that means is that both teams are working
I
for
could
the
set it-
same objectives without knowing a lot about that because they can't hear each other.
Morning.
But once one team does get one of the boxes checked off, the other team cannot get that box. And basically, right now, it's first to 12, I believe, for them to win the board. And it's basically not getting a actual bingo that we're used to, 5 in a row or anything like that. They're just looking to get as many spots as possible.
Yeah, the magic number there is 9, or is sorry, is 13. There we go.
Oh, it's 13. Okay.
By 2. That's how that math works. That would be over half the board.
The surface?
And
that means we'll be getting flight units, huh?
So
better head for the hangar.
You have an interesting dynamic.
Usually we can't get near flight units.
On each
They're
team,
way too
right?
expensive for us grunts.
Automata is
too bad they can't mass produce these things yet.
That has some open world elements, and you know, runners may wish to use their knowledge of forbidden techniques like glitches and debatably not glitches. To try and bend the linearity of the game a little bit. By and large, story progress is a huge factor in what you can do.
Why do you think they sent a combat model like you to a recon
frequently we will see in 2v2 a strategy employed of one person attempting to get done early game goals that don't require story progress, and one person pursuing story progress to unlock the available goals. But that's not a hard and fast rule. If there's a ton early, you could have 2 people focus on early game goals and try and just lock up such a huge lead that the other team can't catch up. Conversely, after about half an hour, 20 minutes-ish of story progress, you unlock the ability to fast travel, which, as you can imagine, is extremely powerful. And along with it, you unlock a huge amount of the different goals. So sometimes teams will opt to sacrifice the early game in order to unlock the ability to do goals more efficiently. So it'd be interesting to keep an eye on the 2 teams and see which of these sort of team strategies that they're employing.
Yeah, and basically up until after this, what we call a shoot 'em up part, it's basically the same run, but then you'll basically see 2 people kind of follow a similar path as each other, doing the exact same kind of a speed route. But after that, it will kind of diverge even more from them, and there's probably going to be 2 of them that are going to almost right off the bat just go somewhere completely different. So right after this little scene that happens right here on most of the screens right there, they'll probably start splitting up, and we'll see where everyone goes from there. But sometimes that's not a hard and fast rule. They might all go to a resistance camp and then start to split up from there. But who knows what their strategy is? We're just trying to watch and come up with it as they go, because this is I was looking at this bingo board, and there's quite a few that I'm not familiar on here, but like I know collect all stamps, complete your hub betrayers. But
I'm
there's
really interested, Riker, to see have 0 money is a favorite goal of mine. And so I'm interested to see how, if anyone's going to try and go for that really early. It's something that theoretically is not that difficult to do. You can manipulate your money by either picking some up from enemies or buying and selling things to try to get that money down to 0. I'm interested to see if anyone, takes the chance to do that really early. Oh, we already see a goal completed. From the team on the left side. That jukebox sound data is not difficult to obtain. So
that was just whoever got there the quickest. And
yeah, it's one of those things
that
it's so, in retrospect, you will always see 20 things that you wish you'd done differently, because they're trying to read the board. They don't get to see the board until the moment that they have to start running. So you can take the time to look at and try to plan things out, but if you fall 2 steps behind, you may miss an easy goal like that. That, perhaps the other team, it's low down there on the board. They may not have even read that tile yet. So being able to think on your feet is really important. And even though the estimate's at an hour, it really winds up feeling very fast-paced as you're playing it, especially at the beginning.
And it does look like Will and Isum are kind of neck and neck, and they're not following the normal speed route. So this is getting kind of interesting, but it does look like
They are almost
Everyone-
exactly
yeah.
the same spot. That's kind of, it's like,
Yeah,
I was thinking, it was like, do we have the same stream up in multiple spots? But
they're shooting the same enemies as well, and
do we have
oh
the
my
same
gosh,
stream up in multiple spots? Actually,
do we?
We might.
I think we do
I think
actually.
we have the same stream up in the bottom left and the top right. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I was like, wait, how is that happening?
I was like, that's crazy that they're the exact same. Okay, so we can't see it right now, but William is actually completely broken off from the pack and gone to the commercial facility. That means the other players are doing this initial set of quests to progress the main story. He's not done that. He's gone completely out of his way to go over there. So I appreciate our lovely tech here at Bingothon getting up the bingo board. And there's a lot of fun goals to take a look at here.
I do believe that was Ameiii who actually went to the commercial facility on that.
Okay, it's
So
Ameiii who did it. Okay.
Yeah, I do know, talking with Will beforehand, that his plan was to kind of stick to the A route and go for the later kind of stuff because he's more familiar with the A route than everything that
you are
early.
right. I can see Ameiii just death warped there.
Yeah.
It's a really nice strategy in bingo. So in bingo, you can frequently go quite far out of your way to get a goal early, and being able to use a death to put you back really far away before you have fast travel is one of your only means of transporting huge distances. We have various ways to move. You can see Ameiii doing what we call dash punches down in the bottom right that give you slight bits of movement speed over how you would normally run around, but nothing that quite compares to fast travel or any, we don't have any huge bursts of movement like some other speed games have.
Yeah, and it does look like Team Hut actually got another objective while they were at Resistance Camp. They got the Beast Lord, which I believe is just a purchase there, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So it's an interesting routing. You saw that Isum went and picked up a chest. He went a little bit out of his way in order to pick up a chest that had some silver ore and meteorite that he could sell for money. You would not ordinarily have the amount of money to buy Beast Lord, but he went out of his way to make the money. I think he was perhaps hoping he would also be able to nicely get himself down to 0 money, but was not able to do so, as we see Ameiii pick up the factory transporter to tie it up 2-2.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just trying to figure out which one of these streams between Isum and Will are the correct one for which person, because I do believe that Will is the one that has Millennia as a mod for 2P, I think, but I could be wrong on that, but we'll find out here shortly, right? Oh, somebody got 0 money right there.
Oh. Okay, so I think that's Icarus. I think that's Icarus who did it. We can see him messing around with the shop there.
Okay. Yeah, it was a stream that I was not looking at. So that's...
You can see,
they're getting quick. They're so quick on these. I'm still struggling with that during my runs with the exacts and all that, but with time you get it down. So let's see. So looks like Ameiii is starting to go through the first few quests a little bit more, and now they have an orange screen.
Okay, so it is, yeah, we're seeing Isum. We're seeing Isum, so we're not seeing Will's perspective.
Okay, we are seeing. Okay.
So we see Isum mirrored where Will's stream should be.
Okay, interesting. And Ameiii is gone. We have 2 screens now. This is kind of fun, though. I mean, the game's broken.
Well,
so
it gives us an opportunity to focus on Team our current goal leaders, as they also managed to. Isum really impressing with the money routing here. So he also managed to pick up that Mirage program. Wait.
Okay.
Hold on. He. You know what? We're gonna count that. That's when I wrote that goal. That's not where we had usually interpreted the city underground as being. I would consider that the desert underground.
Or would you consider the city underground being?
I would consider it so. The place, the cavern that opens up after City Angles enters, where you fight Eve at the end of the game, or if you go down even further, and where you fight the middle of the game.
So, kind of the area between the main area of the game, which I would consider we were just at before the desert, and the flooded city. Is that what you would do?
Yeah, that area. You know what? If Bingothon could tolerate me leaving for a second, you can talk. I'm gonna go tell Isum that that's not, he didn't do that goal right.
Okay, that's totally fair. So what we're seeing from Icarus right now is still going through the main quest right there, and it does look like Isum's also starting to approach that too. So what Icarus is going to do right here is they're going to go over to the buildings over here, which is not the actual path. He's going to do a glitch to get through the buildings and get towards what we call Adam Pit, because this is where we're going to find Adam here in a second. But few lifts, get through that little invisible wall right there, keep dashing through there, and this ground that you're about to see, how it changes textures, does not exist right there. So now they do that, and just about in the pit. Now, Icarus is going to need to get this little marker there, make sure that appears on the map, changes right there, and then plunges down there, and now they're in the pit. Yeah, so it looks like you got that sorted out with the objective there. Don't want them to get that lockout with a unfair advantage, I guess. But it was just more of a mistake than anything. They didn't know. And then it looks like Ameiii is starting to fish. Which goal are they going for? Let me look again. Catch 3 different fish. That's probably it. And then probably fish in amusement park sewer pipe once. Oh, it looks like Ameiii is going to start glitching through that wall there.
So, an update. I'm watching. He is streaming. William is currently fighting Adam. He is basically exactly where Icarus is.
Okay.
Right now.
So those two are the ones that are going through the normal route.
Got Icarus and Damage Glitch pushing on story. We have Isum, who took a little bit of deviation, but is mostly pushing story. And we have Ameiii, who is getting custom with it, going for a little trick that we like to call Mega Jump here. A trick that I think most people would consider outdated, and there's no reason to ever do it. And I go for it and fail it every time I play Bingothon.
So I've never actually seen this jump before, so...
Yeah, so this trick is really cool. It shows off all the amazing movement. Try it yourself if you are a NieR Automata player. This wall is hard to get over, but he's doing a reset here. So when he does this jump heavy to get this initial uppercut burst of speed, he touches the tree root, and that gives him his jump back, where he goes to do another uppercut. And he uppercuts himself out of the stream and takes down his entire team's stream. Oh, beautiful. Oh, beautiful. There we go.
Looks like we got it. There we go.
He resets his jump. Okay, he's using these slashes for distance. He's using an extra jump for distance. You can use your heavy slash in the air, which throws the sword down and you plunge after it, but it gives you a teeny burst of height that you can jump out of to preserve it without losing it. He uses a pod spin, a plunge, and he's doing all this to try and get enough height and distance to go over this invisible wall. Ameiii is doing exactly what I've done so many times, which is fail Mega Jump and repeat, because this is not a trick you have ever any other reason to use, but you can cross this huge invisible wall and get into the amusement park early without the story progress. So all these other players are going through and they're going to the desert, they're fighting Adam to get in here. But Ameii's just gonna jump his way in once he wakes up enough to do this trick.
And so there is another wall that is actually visible and everything, and then a small bit of visible wall just behind where Ameiii is, and so that would need story progression before being able to get over there. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah. So the visible wall that's over a little bit to left when or I guess is behind right now. But yeah, that will go away once you defeat Adam here in terms of story progress. And there is a way to clip through that visible wall as well. Ameiii is opting to Mega Jump instead, although looks like he may be giving up on Mega Jump, which is understandable. He gave it his best go. It's surprisingly tricky. There's a lot of different little inputs, and you need a fairly good bit of height. It's not. I'm not going to call it perfect because it's definitely not, but it's not a trick you ever practice. So.
Yeah, and this game is unforgiving with the amount of height that you need for each glitch. You will have to get max height for a lot of these glitches that a lot of people have to do, even just for the normal run. But a lot of people have done it in practice, and that's why for the normal route, people get it done fairly easy, but they are not easy no matter what until you just get that kind of muscle memory going in. Yeah.
Real quick call out to you just saw a damage glitch jump over the wall, and you say, well, wow, that looks way easier than what Ameiii was doing. He has enough story progress that the invisible wall above it has been cleared. So if Ameiii had just ran there, then there would be an invisible wall earlier. He wouldn't have been able to get to that point. It's a slightly different wall. I just wanted to call that out there. That as we see him now do some lovely fishing. He's fishing in the sewer here. Hopefully he'll get the iron pipe, which is a weapon that you can fish up in this sewer. It doesn't really make a difference, but.
Wait, was that it right there? No, it was a fish. Okay.
No, it's a broken firearm that he got there.
Oh, okay. And it does look like Team Hunt actually got Kill 3 Machines with the Hammer 1 program when we were kind of focused on the Mega Jump, I believe.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I really love about NieR Automata Bingo is there's all sorts of things that just, you never get to do in a speedrunning context. So, we may have done fishing in a normal game, and then, you may find something like fishing percent to do it. But, we have these other things where you get a jukebox sound data, you kill machines with a specific program that, it's fun to take this context that we love of trying to do things as fast as possible and just get to do different activities, get to find uses for all these little bits of knowledge that float around in runners' heads. That maybe doesn't come up every bingo, but you find the one bingo where you go, oh hey, it's actually so cool. I know you can go over here, and make this happen a little bit faster. So
I'm a little curious on who's gonna defeat the Goliath tank. Whether one of the people that are doing the normal kind of run, ooh, looks like Icarus fell down, or if it's going to be.
We can see damage glitch down here in the bottom right doing a trick known as a roller coaster skip. This is a really cool trick. I know we've talked mostly about bingo and not about NieR itself, but for those of you who don't know already, this is one of the coolest tricks in the run where you set that roller coaster that's normally an auto scroller, you touch it just enough to get all the right triggers so that the auto scroller bit starts, but you're not on it, so you're free to go and do whatever you want. Now, I was really hoping that I was going to see him kill the tank during it.
Oh, it looks like Icarus is doing that now.
Icarus is actually beating him to it, and he's choosing to go get a spear, which will unlock a faster form of movement for him. So it's an interesting, little bit of a routing choice there. But Icarus, it looks like, didn't activate the roller coaster first. He just ran there normally, or did he? He did. Oh, he did. Okay.
He did. He fell down a little bit earlier, so he's going to get that spear later, probably.
So yeah, so he doesn't have the spear for that faster movement, but he managed to essentially for free, right, without spending any time, without taking any time off his story progress, he managed to get a goal, right? So this is a really interesting trade-off that you get to make. Is do I want this goal or do I want this improved bit of speed? And it'll also be really curious to see, is he going to play without a spear, or is he going to find another way to get that spear? Perhaps he gets it on the way out, perhaps he buys a spear. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it looks like Isum was going for doing something down in forest and just did the self-destruct sequence, and then some of the enemies that are called stubbies actually knocked him out. So we'll see where Isum will go from there now, and it looks like Ameii's probably going to get into the castle. Trying to look at the goals and see what they're probably going to go for.
Okay, he's
yeah.
doing, we call that trick Rainbow Road.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
there was an old trick there called Mario Kart, and Rainbow Road skips Mario Kart. So it's that's a bit, so Ameiii proving himself, saying, hey, look, stop, you know, talking trash about me. I can do long jumps in the Automata. Ameiii still has no story progress, by the way. Is just off in his own land, glitching through walls, running on invisible floors, and making those early game goals happen to try and keep his team at a close amount of goals here.
I've almost analyzed the enemy's hacking pattern.
Yeah, and
I'm going to try to hack it back.
I do have to say that Rainbow Road glitch Ameiii made it look really easy. I'm having so much trouble trying to learn that one because it's a lot of specific inputs and very specific height that you need to hit. So good on Ameiii for getting that. And now it looks like they're going to the blacksmith down below that transporter. And the blacksmith here is the one that will upgrade the weapons all the way to the top. So it looks like that's what he's going to opt for to start upgrading.
Upgrades Virtuous Grief to level 2. This is a really interesting bit of routing that he's chosen to use this person. There's multiple different people who can upgrade your weapons. He's gone to Masamune. I presume he's got something else he wants to do in this area. And if you're wondering, if you played the game, you'll know that you need materials to upgrade weapons. You go, well, where did he get the materials to upgrade Virtuous Grief? The beginning of the game, in order to like teach you about upgrading weapons, they actually give you everything you need to upgrade your starting sword, Virtuous Contract, to level 2. But Ameiii actually chose to skip that upgrade. That upgrade actually makes you move and faster and deal more damage. But he skipped it in order to use those materials, which are the same materials to upgrade Virtuous Grief. So that's a cool little bit of routing there, and it's another example of one of those trade-offs for, you know, future speed versus current goal progression.
Well, it looks like Isum is opting to use the regular roller coaster to get to the boss over here. So that's a pretty interesting choice.
So there's a goal there in the top right, ride the roller coaster back into the station, which I think is what he's doing. I was really hoping to see, so if you fail the roller coaster skip in a particular way, you can actually ride it back into the station and then quickly after trigger the jump like you had, like you'd done it like intended. So normally you ride the roller coaster about halfway and then you jump into the boudoir fight. But if you fail the glitch in the correct way, you can ride it all the way back to the station and then go hit the last trigger, and you'll jump over to boudoir. So you could, you know, he could theoretically have done that to you know, do a really quick ride the coaster in the station, but no one opted to take that little combo route. I'm guessing just, you know, so many things going on in their mind in terms of routing, but that would have been neat. I have to call that out.
Yeah, I had no idea about that glitch, and it looks like that's the exact goal that he was going for, so good call on that.
We see in the bottom right, I called out spear dashing, so damage glitch is now using that spear that he got. You'll see the little bits of red that flash on the screen. We're using our self-destruct button, not to self-destruct, but actually to cycle through our attacks. So the spear has this attack that dashes forward, and you can use self-destruct to repeatedly use that portion of the combo rather than using the other parts of the combo. And it's our fastest form of movement that we actually have, besides riding this animal. But riding animals are not really impractical. It takes a lot of time to get on and get off, so it's really only useful in riding moving large distances, and also you need to have the animal nearby in the first place.
Yeah, and it does look like Icarus and Damage Glitch are actually pretty close in the route as well still, so that's looking good on that. Now what Icarus is doing right here is they are taking a death on purpose, so that way they can respawn at a transporter that they activated in Pascal's, I believe. So that way it's just a little bit closer to the objective. And damage glitch, aka will also do that here in a second using the boost instead of boar, because that's the animal that was closest to him. And then
Yeah,
it
and I
looks like
love seeing
Ameii's.
how close this has been. Where it's the 5 to 6 in goals. It's been extremely
Yeah.
close. I don't think there was a 2-goal lead for all of a minute, and other than that, it's been within 1 goal the whole time. That does likely mean that we will get to see some end game goals coming in here. So if one team can manage to run away with it early, then you might not have to go and complete all that much of the story. But there's a good handful of late game goals here that look like teams are going to need in order to secure the W. So we'll get to see the story progress.
This was a trap.
Yeah, and it looks like Ameii's starting to go a little bit further in the story, but taking just a slight detour for these enemies over here again. But yeah, it just looks like everyone's going to be pretty close for the most part with the goals, so I really am excited to see how close this ends up being towards the end, because I think it's going to be close the entire time with how they're playing.
Probably shouldn't get near that guy's
So it looks like Ameiii at this point has chosen to try and catch back up on story progress, noticing we're running really short on goals that are doable with no story progress. I count 1 goal remaining that can be done with no story progress, which is kill 4 different enemy types using pod counterattack. All the others need some amount. Oh, actually, ending K. So ending K is an interesting one to talk about. Obtain and eat a mackerel. There are 2 ways to obtain and eat a mackerel. One is you complete a certain amount of the story, and you can be given one for free by checking your mail, and then you eat it and you die. You get an ending for killing yourself by eating a mackerel. But the other way is you can fish for it, and fishing for it is completely RNG. You could get it in 10 seconds. You could spend your entire bingo fishing for it. Isum has been known before to waste huge swaths of time in bingo attempting to get lucky and get the mackerel. I think has chosen, for the sake of his teammates this time, not to waste all his time fishing for a mackerel, but I was secretly hoping that someone would go fish.
Yeah, I think that Ameiii was actually kind of hoping while they were doing the other objectives that they got marked off, the catch 3 different fish and visit the commercial facility and all that, that they were hoping to just get lucky with a mackerel, but, it's just luck at that point. So if a team's going for that, they're probably going to try to get it through the quest that hands them the mackerel.
Oh yeah, that is a creative. I didn't even notice that you have fish in the amusement park sewer, catch 3 different fish, and catch a mackerel. There's sort of a little fishing sub theme on this bingo board we've got here today. So fishing percent routers, rise up in the chat. Today was your time.
Fishing percent is such a great RNG one, especially because it starts in the prologue and you go and fish. You just completely go off and don't care about the story. I want to fish.
For the first time in centuries, we've intercepted a signal belonging to the aliens. These are the creatures that are in direct command of the machine life forms on this planet.
We've got let's see. Oh, okay. So Icarus is doing a really cool trick. This is a trick that I explained in the last Bingothon that I commentated, that I wasn't actually commentating on. My Discord had closed, so I was commentating to only my cat. But this glitch is called Extended Dialogue Storage, EDS, and it's one of the newer, relatively, it's not all that new, it's years ago, but a trick that was added to the run where you essentially talk to this robot and kill him, right? So now you're in this state where you have dialogue on your screen, but normally you can only move a short range away. Did Chris mess up? No, okay. So
yeah, he had me worried too.
You retain full control of your character with a dialogue box up. When 2 dialogue boxes collide, they just cancel each other out. There's a really long piece of dialogue that comes up here that we will cancel out by entering with this dialogue box. As you see, he's trying to get the plunge down to the right area, which also does something really funny in terms of speedrunning. We have to watch this cutscene. Normally we would skip cutscenes, but the input that would skip the cutscene would get rid of our dialogue box. So we have to watch this cutscene because actually the non-cutscene that follows is a scripted boss fight that's actually based on dialogue. It's actually faster to keep this dialogue to skip it. And doing this from Icarus will unlock something very important that we called out earlier, fast travel. So we unlock the transporters. So the combination, there's a lot of goals that have been unlocked by this amount of story progress, and unlocking fast travel should mean that this is the spot where a lot of runners will choose to break off and stop doing story and focus all on goals. So up to here, they're going, well, I'll get a goal on my way, but I'm going to get story. Now, they could also choose to continue on the story progress, go fight A2 and unlock the remainder of the goals in terms of like what's available for them to do right now. It'll be interesting to see where Icarus chooses to do right now. Is it going
Back this
all
way
story
again?
progress or is it just
What a
one
pain.
transporting?
Stop complaining.
Yeah.
2B, this is Operator 60. We
It
now
looks
have an
like
operational
Icarus
transport in the
and
city
Damage
ruins.
Glitch are
Your
once
attention to
again
deploy
very
at other
neck
points
and
as
neck. Let's see
About
if
time we had
they
access to
can
those.
get.
Care to fill
Do
me
they
in?
typically
Transporters?
get Virtuous Contract
Let you transfer
3
your
during a
consciousness to
bingo run?
temporary body back in the
It's
bunker.
not
I
common. So
heard some
Virtuous
tech
Contract
guys
3 is a
talking about it a
huge
while
part
back.
of any percent runs. It's upgrading your sword to the 3rd level. But because you can't get it until after this point where you have transporting, the majority of the time that it saves comes from movement and combat that we don't usually have to do in bingo. So bingo is set entirely after prologue. For those of you who know NieR Automata, so it's after the prologue, but before we go fight Grun, the giant machine worm in the ocean. Grun is a 15-minute auto scroller that nobody would want to do any goals after if you played bingo. I mean, it'd be incredibly not worth it,
Why
and
don't we rest a little
it's
bit,
generally
2B?
not everyone's
It's
favorite
been a
part of the
while.
game because it's a
I'll rest if I
15-minute
feel
auto
like it.
scroller. So we play bingo within this small range of the game, and a lot of the time save from Virtuous Contract comes after Grun. So it's not commonly seen. I think there's a goal for it, but it doesn't happen to be on this board. So
That would make sense on that one. And so while they're kind of transporting, I just want to know what are your thoughts about the rest of the goals? You think they're going to have a pretty easy time getting the rest of these? Going to be pretty
Sure.
neck and neck on these?
So we see a bunch of upgrade weapon goals. Upgrade weapon goals in general tend to be quite difficult. That's because you not only need to get the weapon, but you need to get the materials. Now, some of them have interesting strategies, like for instance, Virtuous Grief. We saw Ameiii skip upgrading his initial weapon. A lot of them don't. However, after you finish A2, Emil's shop opens up. You can't access it until after you beat A2, and he sells a lot of materials that'll make a lot of these upgrades way quicker. So that is a plus point for more story progress, but you may see interesting strategies that people may be able to snipe goals without having to access Emil's shop on those upgrade goals. I would really expect to see kill 3 machines in the City Underground with Mirage be done relatively soon by Isum. He's just now fighting City Angles, which will unlock the City Underground, and we know he has the Mirage program. So I would keep my eye on that.
Definitely. That definitely makes sense. And then what about that visit Emil's giant heads in the desert? So I thought that wasn't until you get way later into the game that that comes about. But that comes about relatively soon.
Yeah, so there's in the course of ending A, there's really one big map transition that happens, and it's after you fight City Angles and the crater opens up. And it's very visually apparent in the city ruins, but it actually changes the locations in the desert as well, and the Emil heads become uncovered in sand after City Angles. So um, all of the runners, I believe, except for Ameiii, have enough story progress that they could go visit them, but it is quite out of the way. I didn't see if anyone unlocked that transport in the desert. That would have been a smart routing choice if someone had gone to that center transport in the desert so they could just transport out there. But if you haven't, it's really far out of your way to go there. So
Oh, it looks like somebody did just get ending K. I believe that was Isum. I didn't
all
see. Did
right,
they?
Isum has eaten his mackerel.
Yeah. Did he fish that out? I did not see that. I was too busy
No,
watching Ameiii
I
fish again.
believe I believe Isum had enough story progress to get the mail, but chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Did he fish
Say,
that?
2B,
I didn't see anybody
What?
fishing.
when do you think
Well, I
you'll be
guess
willing
I guess
to
Ameii's
do
fishing.
nines?
What is
My
Ameiii
mask
fishing
works
for?
just fine.
Well,
Who knows
yeah,
at this point? Let's see, because I don't think that there's
Ameiiii fish. Okay,
any.
Ameiiii went fishing for iron
We
pipe,
don't
which
get to
is
choose
not
our
a goal.
assignments.
He just
And you
wanted
should
the
work on
iron
keeping
pipe,
your opinions in check.
so you gotta
Uhhhhhh
respect
aren't
that.
allowed to be emotional,
All
remember?
right, just
Ameiiii is
trying to
having a
flex,
little
I
bit of fun
guess.
with us today. So, Ameiiii, for any of you longtime Bingothon viewers, Ameiiii likes to troll Bingothon. So he's we've had some nice rickrolling going on in the past. So I'm not surprised to see him grab the iron pipe here today. As
Understood.
uh, Along points out in chat that it was Icarus who has enough story progress that he was able to eat the mackerel.
Okay, I see. And I have not talked to Ameiiii a whole lot because of time zones, but I've heard a lot of stories about Ameiiii. They're a fun person. All right, let's see. So now,
in terms of goals here, we see a couple of quest-based goals. Collect all stamps. This is a stamp collecting quest in the amusement park. That anyone who's done some of the longer categories may know the route to efficiently get all these stamps done. It can take a hot second to do. If you don't know the best way to get all of them, you can wind up backtracking a little bit through. Uhhhhhh Betrayers is also a quest. So we see a couple of these quests here, which aren't too terribly long, but they do take a little bit of a time investment, and it starts to enter this interesting bit in Lockout where you don't know what the other team's doing, and you really can get sort of you don't want to spend too much time that only goes towards completing a goal. That if someone else is 30 seconds ahead of you in completing, then that time all gets wasted. Especially if if you're behind, that can be one of the ways to make a comeback, is snipe a goal that someone else has spent a long time invested in trying to complete.
definitely. And I was just looking at Isum right now, and so Isum looks like they're going through the alternate strategy of getting through that barrier for this part, so that way they can go and kill the enemies that are through the door in the tunnels, get some experience there, and grab some of the materials to, just grab some materials and hopefully use them for upgrades here in a bit. And it looks like Will is fighting A2 now as well, and that'll open up pretty much all the goals at that point. Is that correct?
Yes, after A2, that is all the story progress you need, and I would expect Will, with this large amount of story progress, to go and buy from Emil. That's what I would expect to see him do, is to buy from Emil and use those materials, potentially upgrade some weapons here.
I see, and I would think that either Icarus or Will, right after they get done with these sections that they're on, they'll also do the stamps, just because they've already started the quest technically, and they can just quickly get through those. Personally, the stamps actually does have one of my favorite little parts of the entire game, which is the Romeo and Juliet part. Probably the best iteration of Romeo and Juliet,
I'm aware of how
in
to
my
fight.
personal opinion.
You just be careful.
Feel free to look that up if you ever want to see it, or we might see it
Hopefully
very
I think we'll
quickly.
see someone go,
Very
yeah.
quickly.
We'll try to keep our eye on it and point out if we see anyone watching the play from the robots. As we see, Isum has killed 3 machines with Mirage and grown the lead for Team Huh against Team
What is with these guys?
Here. So we see some upgrade goals. So Your High Issue Blade, and Your Issue Blade is from a moderately sized quest. 4-0 Sword, that goal takes forever. There's a series of multiple quests that are only startable after A2. So your Type 4-0 Sword is very likely to be left for one of the last goals on the board. Ancient Overlord and Upgrade Beast Lord, those are the 2 goals that I would expect to see, after you buy chips from Emil, that damage glitch could do to quickly pop those two. You could just go buy both the swords and then upgrade the swords into the materials you bought, and catch his team right back to even. So,
Let's see. And then
might even take the lead. Even that might be a 3 goals within like
it looks like
a minute and a half here.
Looks like Will is marking off by a chip. Yep, there we go. And
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the one below that, the obtain beautiful glass. What is beautiful glass?
So beautiful glass is part of the Beauvoir subquest. I believe it's the one in the desert. But so you have to go to. You could actually have started it much earlier. If I didn't catch if anyone started it while they were there in the forest, but you could talk to this guy John Paul, and he's got all these admirers who want to give him things, and you have to go pick them up and bring them back to John Paul, who's a dick and doesn't care about any of them.
But why?
Let's go, NieR.
But yeah, Sartre here is not the nicest guy, but oh no, it's the machine with the machine in the amusement park here actually who has the beautiful glass. So if anyone started it, they could get a nice little combo with the that and the stamp collecting. So I'll be interested to see. That might be what Will, but Damage Glitch is doing here. I was expecting to see him go for the sword upgrade, but he might be going for the glass and the stamps.
I think he also might quickly try to get the.
Oh, I think Isum is as well. Look, Isum's back in the amusement park as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're gonna have a. This could be huge in terms of both these people are gonna spend a lot of time getting these stamps.
Oh, he's going for the lunar tier. Yep, he's getting this right before Isum goes up to it. Oh, he's going to be just barely ahead of Isum on a few of these, I think.
Oh, there's the amusement park one as well, because there's also the desert lunar tier.
Yes,
oh,
exactly.
But Isum got the beautiful glass, so they've split. They both.
Oh, wow!
So if they're paying attention, they should know. They should both know that they're both here, and so now they're gonna know that they're racing for these stamps.
Yeah, Will was actually going to the beautiful glass right there, and just barely saw right when he got up to that person that could not interact with him because, oh my gosh,
God,
they're neck and neck.
That's actually so good. You almost never get to directly know like that when someone is contesting your goal. Will
I think
Will says,
Will's
I don't want
going.
it. He says I don't want the smoke. He's leaving. He goes, I don't think I can.
So is Isum.
So is Isum. Oh my god, they both think that they're behind the other person. So neither of them is going for the stamp. They both don't want it. So at some point here in the future, we're going to see them realize that the other person didn't actually go finish it. That is so funny. Both of them playing conservative here and giving respect to the other team.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny that they were both going for it and saw the other hit those goals. Okay, and now everyone is pretty much separated from each other. Ameiii is the only one that's still going through the story, while everyone else is just kind of spreading out, trying to get all the rest of the goals.
So let's figure out what they're all doing. So Damage Glitch is going out to the Ameiii heads. Isum is going to do 11B's Memento, which gives you the uhhhhhh blade, which upgrading it is a goal. I think at least he started that quest, but now he's gone to Icarus? Oh, and now he's doing story progress. Interesting. What's Icarus up to? Is anyone keeping their eye on Icarus? What's our friend Icarus doing over there?
Every time I look over at Icarus, he's doing something completely different than what I think he's doing. And so I just keep getting confused, to be honest.
So we see an opportunity here to show off knowledge from Damage Glitch. I have gotten lost so many times trying to find these Ameiii heads out in the desert. So we'll see, does he know where they are? Or is he out here? Is he going for them?
He's going for the lunar tier, maybe?
Oh, he's going for the lunar tier.
That's over here, isn't it? Oh, nope, he was getting lost, I think.
Chat, vote in the chat. Is he lost or is he going for the lunar tier? Because it's not over here. The lunar tier is back before this in the desert, in the place with the like oil pipes, like and the stacked up guys.
Oh, right.
So I think he's lost. Um, which
And I'm
is,
sure.
speaking of mistakes you can find in Bingothon video footage from me in the past, yeah, that's another one.
I won't lie, I'll make the same mistakes. Oh, yep, it looks like he was going for the lunar tier and probably was thinking the same spot that I was thinking, which is completely wrong. I thought it would have been in the city ruins
So
of the
Isum has
desert.
gone back to do stamps. So he bailed on the stamps, went to go start story, realized, hey, it's been too long. The stamps should be done by now. if damn it, if the other team, if team had been going for it, now he's gone back to do the stamps. So that's funny.
God, this is a really good race. I'm really enjoying this because everyone's doing something different now, and everyone doesn't know what anyone's doing, and everyone, it's just making it so much fun. You know, the teams are working together, obviously, but you know, you can't see what the other team is doing. I didn't even know about that.
I think it's
that path. With
oh yeah, yeah.
Isum.
So he used the out of bounds from the coaster to quickly cross the gap there in the amusement park. I think it's really going to come down to
Why did you ask Pascal about A2?
these Beast Lord and
It's
Ancient
not
Overlord
recommended to interface with
grades.
machines without consulting command.
Yeah,
Seeing
I know.
whether or not
I'm sorry.
I'm pretty
Though I
sure
suppose such intense
that let me
curiosity can
double
be
check my
admirable
old
in its own way.
spreadsheet here of the bingo goals, but I'm pretty sure you can buy all the materials
2B.
there.
Still, machines are the enemy.
At
Don't forget it.
at the desert route, which I believe that Will actually didn't do. I think he didn't buy those materials when he could have bought them.
I don't think he bought the materials. I think he just bought a chip and then went. Okay, and he just got the lunar tier in the desert.
Yeah. So yeah, both Beast Lord, and
By the way, Isum just did the Romeo and Juliet. That's how it
it's on,
ends.
yeah, there it is.
It goes through it really quickly.
But yeah, if anyone realizes, we see shopping from Icarus. I think he is buying the items for those 2 upgrades, so that's going to be huge. That's 2 goals that all you need to do is buy, and then go back to the resistance camp and do a little bit of shopping there too, and he can check off 2, which would be huge. Tied at 9 here. An 11 really starts to close in there on our magic number here, which is 13.
Yeah, and now it looks like Will is going to go for mill heads. He just was a little bit confused on the lunar tier, as was I, and he's going to go for this goal because they're giant heads. They're not hard to miss.
So Will has done 100% run. He does know where it is, but I really can't underestimate that when you're trying to not only play the game using speedrun tactics, but also decide what goals you're going to do and how you're going to get to them, it is so easy to just, your brain just overloads and you just blank out an information that you know, or you fail the execution on some trick that you know how to do, because you just can't have your full focus. Your focus is split, and balancing it is really one of the things that I love about bingo.
Oh yeah, and definitely when you're doing bingo, I know when I did a bingo run, trying to balance 2 objectives at the same time, you forget that you've done the other one or something along those lines, and you forget to mark it off or anything like that. It can be a little bit just your mind melts trying to remember everything. So it looks like
Icarus upgraded Ancient Overlord, but not Beast Lord.
Huh.
He just must be picking one goal at a time to focus on.
Yeah, I think that kind of like what I just said, where your mind kind of melts trying to go for multiple goals at once. So he might just be trying to hone in on each one, make sure that he's not missing.
Does Ameiii might not sell pyrite? That might be it. If Ameiii doesn't sell pyrite, then in order to finish, you need pyrite for Beast Lord. I think he would need to go do, you can do a quest called Resistance Disappearance to get some pyrite. You can also hope to pick it up off the floor, but that's not consistent. So that must be it. It must be that Beast Lord, you'll forgive me. It's been quite some time since I've ran bingo. I used to know all these, but I think that's it. So it's still really important that he's bought those materials, and he sort of has access to finishing that quest to do the upgrade Beast Lord. But Oh, it's 10-10 now.
Oh yeah,
What that ticked off?
So let's see. We
The
got
meal heads was it?
the meal heads was it.
This is so close.
And so
Guys,
now they just have uhhhhhh Betrayers, upgrade Beast Lord, collect all stamps, which Isum is about to get here soon. Upgrade uhhhhhh Issue Blade and obtain Type 4O Sword. It might come down to the Type 4O Sword, honestly, at
That's
this
what
point.
I was gonna say. Oh, Riker, this is not so. I talked about this earlier. 4O Sword is like the longest goal, so you have to have all the story progress, and then you have to have a chain of 3 quests. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. There are not many people who know off the top of their heads. I mean, very few people in the world who can tell you how to start all of the quests in that quest line. The triggers that give you these quests are arcane. They're obtuse. They're probably known by Isum and Ameiii, but Ameiii does not have the story progress. So there could very well come into a situation where perhaps Damage Glitch knows. I don't know him that well, but there's a lot of runners who have even done 100% who can't remember. They go, I don't know how to trigger it. I just follow the notes in 100%. But maybe Ameiii can walk him through it. I mean, I have seen this in bingos before where people go, I have no idea how to start Find a Present. I have no idea how to start improving communications, because you got to like walk to the right place and do it. So this could be a really big advantage that Isum does, because I know, because I've had Isum walk me through it during a bingo before.
Oh my
just
gosh.
being 100% sure on how to do that quest line could be a huge advantage if it comes down to that one goal.
And Will just climbed on top of angles, and I don't even know on that.
Probably just not sure what he's up to. Okay, what goal just got ticked off? We stamps. It was stamps. Okay,
Yeah,
so
stamps was
11.
ticked off about a minute or so ago. And now I think Will is trying to figure out where to go for probably materials, honestly.
Yeah, I think he's running around because he doesn't know what he wants to do. What's Icarus up to? So we probably Icarus, I think, is trying to do uhhhhhh Betrayers. I think
that would be my best guess on that.
So uhhhhhh Betrayers quest listed. So uhhhhh Betrayers, we need to do 11 B's Memento for the uhhhhh Issue Blade, which involves going back to the factory. Isum, he's doing ongoing communications.
Oh, he is.
Saw that pop up, so he triggered that quest. So that is part of the quest line. So he is prepared. He says, look, I am doing Type 4O Sword. I know this is this really long, hard goal that I know I'm not going to get contested on. And look, if he gets his one and Icarus gets his one, that's it. The bingo is won. So if he just goes, look, I'll take an uncontested goal. You know, I don't have to go and beat them to a goal, right? They have to find a way to beat me to it because we have this 1 goal lead, which, while it wasn't that significant when it was 5-4, at 11-10, you know, there's 4 goals left, and Team has to sweep 3 of them.
If my co-host and I might just jump in for a second, just to say a few words, and you know, the runners are doing absolutely fantastic. It's been such an enjoyable run so far. But we'd just like to thank our sponsors, Team 17, for sponsoring Bingothon Winter 2023 and for their continuous support within the past few events. It's been absolutely brilliant, and you know, of course, this marathon marks the 5 years since the original Bingothon marathon in December 2018. And in that time, we've raised over $28,000 for various charities, completed 11 marathons, and branched out into various external events and content, including the Blind Bingo series and the Breath of the Wild Bingo Bash, among several other ones. To everyone who has been here in some shape or form since that first marathon, thank you, and here's to another 5 years.
And
That's
also,
awesome.
yeah. And also, I want to quickly remind everyone that there's a bunch of prizes lined up as well that you'll still be eligible for if you donate throughout this event, such as the game packs provided to us by Team 17. There's 5 different packs that you are eligible for if you donate at least $25 throughout the event. So, if you're interested in potentially supporting a good cause, combined with the chance to win some very cool games provided by Team 17, make sure to check those out as well.
No, I've heard
Yeah.
of Team 17. What do I recognize that name from? What games do they make that I would know?
Will do.
Thanks, Juby.
Oh, they're worms, aren't they? Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Are they worms?
I was gonna say I think they're worms.
Oh, I played so much Worms when I was a kid. I had a Mac computer and there were no games, and my friend had a PC, and I'd always go over. We were so excited to play Worms. That's awesome.
Yes, and just Bingothon has raised over $13,000 for Fred Hutch. So this marathon is supporting the Fred Hutch charity. My English is Englishing. Bingothon has raised over $13,000 for the Fred Hutch charity over the past 3 years, all going towards life-saving research, treatments, and patient care, as well as helping over 80,000 people receiving COVID-19 vaccines at Fred Hutch in the last couple of years. Furthermore, this is helping Fred Hutch unlock how cancers and infectious diseases start and spread, harnessing the immune system to fight disease, and working to make treatment more equitable and accessible for more people. Can we make it $15,000 in total raised for them before the end of the marathon? I think we might. And just to remind people of the viewers of we have a few upcoming goals and bid wars. We have the Final Fantasy V Career Day, so if we get another $85 towards that, the players will have to defeat the portal boss. And then there's several bid wars going on for the Final Fantasy V Career Day naming. So naming the just naming the characters in the game, and most of those are only about $4 to $6 to get your name chosen. Currently we have a lot of the staff members here at Bingothon as the names, but you know, it would be really funny if we could get some meme names in there, or all of them as Floha. I think that would be pretty funny. But yeah, so back to the NieR Automata, and yeah, so enjoy the rest of the run.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Sorry for it's such a dense game, NieR Automata Bingo. There's so much going on, especially with 4 runners, that we didn't give you any time to speak. So thank you for jumping in there.
No problem. You've been making it very entertaining, so please go ahead.
Well, thank you for that. And it does look like while we were thanking our sponsors, Will did complete the Yorha Betrayers quest line. So now they are tied up again. And so now it really is the Type 4.0 sword and just upgrading a couple weapons.
Isum is getting the Type 4.0 sword. He's going for Find a Present. Icarus, he is going for that upgrade Beast Lord. So he was doing resistance disappearance. That's why he's out in the desert.
Will just got it, I believe.
No, he doesn't have the pyrite.
Oh,
he doesn't
no.
he needs the pyrite. You need to do so. This is it. That's why Icarus is out there doing resistance disappearance. So I think Ameiii is still getting story progress to catch up, because he sacrificed. We talked about that earlier, that he made that sacrifice early in order to secure early game goals. He sacrificed story progress, so he actually can't do any of these remaining quests without this story progress. And we see the 4.0 sword from Isum. That is 12.
Oh no, this is so close.
So both remaining goals would need to be swept by Team here.
I believe what is happening in the voice calls right now, that Icarus and Isum are trying to decide which one they're going to upgrade. Meanwhile, Ameiii is probably trying to describe how to get the pyrite for Will, and then also trying to figure out a plan to get the Yorha issue blade to level 2 as well. So we will see how this works out.
I think this is it. I think Icarus might be.
It should be working now.
Looks green on my end,
Ooh, he's stuck in dialogue. Oh, he's stuck in dialogue, so he can't upgrade it. He's got the materials. He's in the resistance camp. He's trying to win the game. But
Can't he go over to the jukebox at this moment and cancel the dialogue?
Unless he's already used his dialogue cancel. He might have bought the jukebox data earlier in the game. Like, he might have been the one who did that right off the start. And so he probably used his dialogue cancel.
Right. Apologies
unnecessary chatter.
Oh my.
Won't
This...
shut up and let him win the game.
He's like, please. Okay.
That's so funny.
Well, now he's talking to a random NPC. Let's see.
I don't think he's done everything he needed to finish the quest. That's who you talk to finish the quest to get your materials. But he hasn't done it yet.
Oh
I don't know. I
no.
didn't see what piece he missed. But this is not over.
Oh, did he just need to talk to Anemone?
No, that's not it. I haven't watched closely enough to know what he's missing, but oh my god, he's missing part of resistance disappearance. He's checking, guys, look,
Oh,
we're getting
no.
live checking of the map to figure out what's left in the quest. He's going, what did I not do? He's going, I went and killed the guy.
Oh my gosh. So it's just a race for materials though at this point. Everyone's just trying to find materials. Ameiii still trying to catch up. No, Ameiii is actually going to Pascal's now, so Ameii's probably just trying to get materials as well. So there's a little bit of RNG with a little bit of guarantee. Oh my gosh, Icarus is worrying me.
So I think what happened here, you have to go and defeat the blood-drenched machine, but after you do, there's a body of a dead machine in the area that you have to examine. I think he killed the machine, and then in a hurry to try and complete the goal, he left without examining the body.
Oh,
so he's gonna
no.
go back and get it. Isum is... Oh, Isum's working on 11B's Memento, so they're going for both here at this point.
Which, that's definitely a good strategy just as a backup in case they need
As we see a really fancy long jump here from Isum. I mean, it's not the most technical, but it's a really nice little piece of knowledge there to just know that you can go out of bounds there and get that plunge and, you know, make that factory shortcut. As we see Ameiii going to buy the material because he needs to buy the materials and do resistance disappearance to get Beast Lord here, or to upgrade the uhhhhhh blade. He's gonna need these materials. And still is a damage glitch here in the bottom right. Oh, in order to start resistance disappearance, you have to do this quest. So he's just turning in the manager's request. So now he can start resistance disappearance, but he didn't actually need to do that. So this is a piece of tech. If you clip into this area, you can actually start resistance disappearance without the manager's request. So he actually did an entire quest he didn't need. That, you know, understandable, right? He doesn't have this deep bingo experience. He's a relatively, you know, in the last year, he's a very strong any percent runner, but doesn't know that you could just clip back there and start the quest without it. So
I think he just did the same thing that Icarus did, where they thought they were done, and now they're like, "Where is it?" Oh, and Icarus actually is turning it in now.
Yeah, Icarus finally, he went back, he got the examine, he's turning it in, and now he's doing this a little last bit where you need to leave the camp, and then you get a call, I believe, that finishes the quest for you, but he should be wrapping it up here if he can get the call trigger.
Huh. That should have been far enough away for that, interestingly enough. Oh. Maybe there's no call.
No, it's not a call. It's not a call. It's just a leave and come back. Okay, so he's got the materials. So this is going to be it, guys. Congratulations to our winners. We have Team Isum and Icarus in a very close race.
Oh my gosh, that was such a very close race. And he still hasn't marked it off. Did you not upgrade it yet? Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay,
there we go. Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
He needed money.
Yeah, just a little bit of money. Okay.
And look at our beautiful estimate.
Got it. Yeah. Let's see, so tight on the estimate, and I believe Ameiii sent
up Ameiii in our estimate.
Yeah.
GG's to one and all. We might just pull the runners in quickly for one or two sentences. Unfortunately, we don't have time for the post-game interviews that we'd like, but you know, one or two sentences from each person maybe, and then we can head off into the intermission. Just a note to all our viewers, Floha will be restarting the stream during the intermission after the videos play, so the marathon won't be finishing, but it'll be gone for a minute or two, and then it'll be back up. But yeah, that was a very good run, very enjoyable to watch, very action packed.
Thanks for everyone in the chat for hanging out with us. You know, it wouldn't be a very fun marathon without anybody watching. So especially, you know, we always appreciate the NieR community for showing up to watch. But if there's anyone who actually stuck through and watched and is new to NieR, has not seen NieR speedrun before, NieR bingo before, glad to have you.
It does look like Ameiii is kind of trolling and still going through the quests.
Having some fun.
Yeah, just having fun, just going through it. Yeah. But yeah, thank you all for having us.
No problem. Thank you for submitting your NieR Automata run. Everyone watching, I'm sure they enjoyed it very, very much. And yeah, hopefully the runners will just join us in just a moment for 1 or 2 sentences, and then we can get off into our break. And here they are. So what did you all think of the run? Did you like the board, or?
It was amazing. I liked it when Game Commander came into voice chat and told me to take off the objective I marked.
I saw that. Yeah, I was like, that's not underground, buddy.
It was a fun race. So we only have time for a couple of sentences each because the marathon's running a little behind. So let's do one at a time, and just any sentences you want to say related to what we just did, starting with Icarus.
So for this run, in my mind was pure chaos. For some reason, my brain just didn't work in a way that I could read goals. So in the entire first half of the run, I was just, okay, I'll just play the game. I just focus on doing the story and just constantly ask Isum, okay, Isum, what's on the board? What can I do? What should I be going for? And then I just kind of went and mostly focused on just rushing. And then in a lot of parts, later on, then I fumbled a lot and couldn't really decide on what I wanted to do. For a while I wanted to do Your Betrayers, and I thought like that takes too long because they didn't spawn like in good locations for me. And I figured out, okay, like what else should I do? And then overall it was pretty chaotic, but I had a lot of fun, and yeah, thanks for having us. It was a blast.
Beautiful. We'll go next to counterpart from the other team, Damage Glitch. Will, sentences from you.
Yeah, so this is my first Bingothon, and really one of my first bingo races I've ever done. And being probably the least experienced here, I kind of had the same situation that Icarus did, where I just tried to blast through the game as fast as I could and complete what I could along the way. And then I had Ameiii as my human encyclopedia as to what I needed to do past then. It came down a lot closer than I thought it would. Basically down to that Beast Lord upgrade race. And Icarus just got a little bit ahead of me on that, so GG's to them.
Dude, like one thing to that, I forgot to talk to so many NPCs so often. Like I finished fighting A2. My whole thing is I kill something and I think I'm done. So I killed A2. I didn't talk to Pascal, so Emil didn't spawn at first. I went back to Pascal, then I killed the resistance disappearance thing to get the pyrite from the quest to upgrade the weapon, and I didn't talk to the corpse and thought I was done. I had to backtrack twice because I forgot to talk to things after being done fighting. It was so, yeah.
Yeah,
what I was
yeah,
saying.
we picked up on that. That's the beauty of bingo. Couple of sentences from Ameiii, everyone's favorite memeing sleepyhead.
Yo, I had a lovely sleep. But as far as the board goes, it was actually a lot closer than I was expecting it to be. There's a lot of very story progress goals and a lot of goals that are just kind of along the way, which is pretty cool. Run into some locked transporters with literally every time I tried to transport somewhere that it unlocked, it locked itself. Great fun. But yeah, close race.
All right, and our last a couple of sentences here from captain, honorary captain here, the winning team, Isum.
Thanks, game. It was a lot of fun. A very cool race. I definitely wasn't blind to half of the board at the beginning of the race, and just forgot about it halfway through it. Definitely didn't happen. But yeah, overall, was a lot of fun. Would do it again.
Alrighty, Bingothon. Thanks for having us and take us out.
Yes, thanks so
Thank
much
you
for
so
showing up.
much.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you.
Just a quick reminder that Floha will be resetting the stream, so don't go anywhere. It will be back. It'll be down momentarily, but it will be back. And yeah, we'll see you after the intermission for some Monopoly, I believe.
Peggy 16.
But on this ascending path of penitence, the arch confraternity awaits you. Those penitents that the miracle itself took as its sentinels now await your arrival. Orospina, the confraternity of embroiderers. Benedicta, of the confraternity of endless orison. Odon, of the confraternity of salt. Lesmes, of the confraternity of incorruptible flesh. All under the dictate of the oldest penitent, Eviterno, father of the penitents.
No way.
Okay, it is actually correct. Okay, maybe it wasn't a typo after all.
It wasn't a typo after all.
I stopped with the bingo complete. Oh! Okay, we will fight 5 years of Bingothon apparently.
Hey, you! Do you like chaos? Well, did you know you can suggest any goal for the generic bingo at the end of the marathon simply by writing it down in a donation comment? Type !donate in chat to make one pink Batman scream in terror and let chaos lose for the finale.
There's that thing about the microbiome, meeting graft versus host disease, meeting precision oncology, meeting metastasis, because there are some bacteria and viruses that do make it more likely for certain tumors to metastasize. So there's this bacteria called Fusobacterium nucleatum, which is an oral bacteria, where bad oral hygiene leads to it going to the gut. It leads to oral cancers, but it also leads to gut cancers. And when it leads to the gut cancers, those colorectal cancers are more likely to leave and go somewhere else and metastasize all around the body. And when they do, they take the bacteria with them. And so there's so much to unpack. Like, does that bacteria cause the cancer? Does it protect a cancer once it comes up? There's all these levels. And there's just so much more to learn and unpack on each of these. So first we have to discover the bacteria, viruses, figure out how they're interacting with our cells, and at which step, because if it's intimately needed for the cancer to develop, could we treat cancer with an antibiotic? Like, just thinking about that, like, that's just mind-blowing in my opinion.